So Yamina already kind of touched on why dropouts occur, what the dropout rate is nationwide versus California. As you can see, California is a little bit higher than the nationwide average. So next question is, why is this important? As educators, we have the obvious reason. We want our students to graduate. We want them to go on to achieve their goals, their dreams. But really, it also comes down to societal reasons. School dropouts hurt the nation's competitive edge. Basically, those individuals aren't going to be competing for as high of paying jobs. They aren't going to be bringing in the tax money. Reason number two right there, dropouts earn less and contribute less to the economy. Taxes are kind of the necessary evil in the society, but in reality, we need taxes to be able to pay for the infrastructure, to be able to pay for education, for public services. Those that drop out early incur increased health costs. What we mean by that isn't necessarily that they may have greater risk for injury. However, they may not have a job that provides the health care. They may not have a job that can give them the benefits necessary. So those then become part of the public burden in a sense. And finally, it's estimated that males aged 16 to 24 who drop out of school are over 6 times more likely to be put in prison than their graduated counterparts. Basically, these individuals, we would then need more police to be on the streets. We need more individuals employed by the prison system. You have the cost to put someone in prison. Those kinds of things are kind of burdensome on society. So this is very important, not only to us as educators, but also as a society. As far as preventing dropouts, basically dropoutprevention.org, and the activity is actually to research this a little farther for you guys, but there's 4 basic strategies that are included. Basically, there's 15 total, but it's broken down into 4 basic strategies. One is foundational strategies. Basically, how do we change the foundation of education to allow every single student to graduate? You have systemic approaches. You also have school community collaborations. School community collaboration essentially means our communities working within our schools. Who better knows what the school needs on their individual level than the community that surrounds that school? We have early intervention, family engagement, getting everyone involved in the students' learning, which includes early literacy development. Making sure that all students can read by a certain age, making sure that they can enter the classroom with the ability to understand certain things. Third basic strategy becomes probably the most well-known basic core strategies. It's mentoring and tutoring, getting some one-on-one time, service learning, alternative schooling. Alternative schooling is kind of homeschooling or adult education, those kinds of things that are, for students that are not quite 100% dropped out of the school system. Finally, we need to be able to change the instruction, change how our teachers are interacting with the students. That's through professional development, educational technology, where the teachers begin to understand how to actually utilize the technology that's been given to them. And finally, there's career and technical education. Those are kind of things that, teaching shop class, mechanics class, those kinds of things that kind of point someone in a certain career direction. As far as other strategies, which are actually presented by the National Educational Association, we need to understand the dropout challenge. So again, going back to why are people dropping out and how we can assist. And one of those ways is to build an early warning system, identify those things, the at-risk youth that may require some additional assistance in the classroom. One strategy that's been put forth and is actually utilized in a couple school districts, including the city of Athens, which is in Georgia. They actually have this nice chart here to the bottom right. Basically, 80% of your student population fits in this bottom tier. Those are the students that kind of abide by the rules for the most part. Don't really do much wrong, but pretty much they live by the norms set forth by the school, essentially. You have about 15% of the student population then fits into targeted interventions. Those are individuals that, they kind of don't tend to turn in their homework all that much. They'll skip class every once in a while. You kind of need to monitor them a little bit, but you want a response on them pretty quick to ensure that they are abiding by the rules. And finally, you have the 5% that they really don't show up to class. They don't turn in their homework. They don't do what they should be doing. They're fighting all the time. Basically, you may need a diagnostic assessment on these individuals for potential learning disabilities, things that may be going on at home. Trying to identify what the real problem is, get to the root of it, and fix it. A couple proven programs. One is the Perry Preschool program. It raises the graduation rate by 19 individuals per 100 students that attend the program. Essentially what it is it's every weekday morning, Monday through Friday, about 2.5 hours per morning. Students go to a preschool where there's less than 8 children per adult. Those adults are individuals with bachelor's degree, and essentially they go through active learning exercises, problem solving. They're trying to get those students ready for K through 12 life. The other program is First Things First. There's 3 central components to that program. One is that there's a small learning community, up to 350 students and key teachers who remain together for several years. So it's that teacher is following those students as they go along. The second component is family advocacy. Basically, each student is assigned one of those teachers who will meet with them. They monitor their progress, and they actually work with the family of the student to make sure that they're involved in the success of the student. And the third component is that there's instructional improvement to make the lessons more engaging and rigorous, basically making sure that the teachers go through educational programs to make sure that they know how to keep this program going, engaging and rigorous. As far as what we saw as limitations, there truly are very few programs intended for those individuals who have already dropped out of school. Essentially, they, for the most part, have 2 options. One is the GED, which is kind of the high school equivalency exam, and the other is continued education, basically going through adult school. A lot of these individuals who drop out do so at a fairly young age, and so they need to have some programs available to them so that they can actually come back into the school once they, I guess in a sense, realize that they need the education in order to achieve their goals in life. We do have an activity for you, as kind of referenced earlier. Basically, review the 15 dropout prevention effective strategies that are on dropoutprevention.org. Identify which of the 3 you feel would be most effective. You can do it within your community or at a global level, and why those are you feel the most effective. There's a Padlet available on Blackboard that'll be posted on this assignment. These are our resources that we were able to utilize. We hope you guys enjoyed our presentation, and looking forward to seeing the responses to the blog.